Hey everyone, so this is the first video in a new series called Siam's Snippets. This is more for your dead time, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a book and I'm going to go through it and just talk about the nuggets of the book. So the one that I'm going to start off with is Way of the Turtle by Curtis M. Faith, one of the original turtle traders. And every time I read it, there's all like this endless font of nuggets and stuff. So yeah, you don't need to watch the video. You can put this on whilst you're driving or whatever and just listen. I have no idea how long this series is going to be, especially for this book. But once we've gone through every nugget in this book, we'll move on to the next one. So yeah, put the phone down, listen up or whatever, and we're going to talk about cognitive biases, and then we're going to focus on just one, and then we'll do a few more in subsequent videos. So, loss aversion, the tendency for people to have a strong preference for avoiding losses over acquiring gains. Sunk costs effect, the tendency to treat money that already has been committed or spent as more valuable than money that may be spent in the future. Disposition effect, the tendency for people to lock in gains and ride losses. Outcome bias, the tendency to judge a decision by its outcome rather than by the quality of the decision at the time it was made. I'm really struggling to read. Recency bias, the tendency to weigh recent data or experience more than earlier data or experience. Anchoring, the tendency to rely too heavily or anchor on readily available information. Bandwagon effect, the tendency to believe things because many other people believe them. Belief in the law of small numbers, the tendency to draw unjustified conclusions from too little information. Now, I in the past have fallen for all of these cognitive biases, and I guarantee you have, or if you haven't, you will be. It's not a full comprehensive list of the biases, but there's some good info here. So let's focus on this video about loss aversion. I'm going to read out the little paragraph it has on here, and then I've got a couple of little anecdotes. People who are affected by loss aversion have an absolute preference for avoiding losses rather than acquiring gains. For most people, losing $100 is not the same as not winning $100. However, from a rational point of view, the two things are the same. They both represent a net negative change of $100. Research has suggested that losses can have as twice the psychological power of gains. In terms of trading, loss aversion affects one's ability to follow mechanical trading systems because the losses incurred in following a system are felt more strongly than the potential winnings from using that system. People feel the pain of losing much more strongly than when they follow the rules than they do when they incur the same losses from a missed opportunity or by ignoring the rules of a system. Thus, a $10,000 loss is felt as strongly as a $20,000 missed opportunity. So I've got two little things here. So there's one key line here where it says, research has suggested that the losses can have as much as twice the psychological power of gains. So what it's basically saying is that people are far easier rooted in fear than gain. I call it the desire for gain gizmo, or the fear of loss gremlin. And business is a prime example. So if you've read Rich Dad Poor Dad, you would have seen that the simple, most easiest way in getting out of the rat race or just generating whatever income you want is business. You need to run your own business or businesses or a group of businesses, etc. And even though the gain is there, the gain is, yes, if you want to become a millionaire or a billionaire, you have to do it via business. It's so blindingly obvious for me, but so few people go into business, and it's because they're rooted in fear. It's the fear of, oh, what if it doesn't work? What if I waste £1,000 or £5,000 or 50 grand or whatever? They're not moved by the potential gain compared to the loss that they may incur. It's the same with trading, as it just said, but I think in real life, business is the main thing. So if you're sat in a money hole, so to speak, you really got to get into business. What I have always suggest, in fact, that's why I've created thewap.org, www.thewap.org. Check it out. But I've always said that, let's say you had £5,000, and that was, hell, even if it was your life savings, right? You need to look at that £5,000 in terms of, what can I grow this £5,000 into? Not what can I spend, what car can I buy? Can I create 50 grand? Can I create 50 grand a year from this, etc.? And obviously most people struggle in terms of what business idea they're going to do, how they're going to do it. They have no skills or knowledge or network, etc. So what you can do is do projects. So split up your £5,000 into 10 chunks, and each project you're going to launch is going to cost you no more than £500, okay? And you're going to spend no more than 6 months. So sometimes you'll know within a month of launching this new project that it's going to be a flop. But let's say you blow 9 projects, okay? So it's taken you, 4.5 years, and every 6 months you do a new project or mini business and it doesn't work. Well, the law of statistics and odds are on your side, because lucky number 10 is going to work. And hell, even if it takes you 5 years to get your project which works, that then grows into a business, I mean, even if you have a small business, it's still going to chuck you out 50 to 100 grand a year profit. So I would do that. Like, the gain is there, you just got to ignore the loss. So that's the first thing. And then this last paragraph here. In terms of trading, loss aversion affects one's ability to follow mechanical trading systems, blah, 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 blah. Here we go. People feel the pain of losing much more strongly when they follow the rules than when they don't. And I see this with the trading students all the time. So we have a thing called the trendy jibe. That's our main system. And people will learn the system, they'll backtest it and go, oh, this looks pretty cool. They'll then trade it with live money and it doesn't work. They'll do it for a month and they lose money. They'll do it for maybe 3 months and they're like, God's sake, I'm broken even, or I've lost money. And so they lose faith in that and they feel hurt because they've put their trust into me or a system, etc., and it hasn't delivered. And so they feel betrayed. Whether obviously there's varying scales of betrayal, but they feel like they've been misled, or I've misled you, or the trendy jibe doesn't work, or the system doesn't work. But what's happened is that they're acting and they're basing their reactions on such a small data set, it's insignificant. So it's like taking, I use heads and tails quite a lot. Here we have a freaking £1 coin, yeah, heads and tails. It's 50-50, right? It's not going to flip. I'm not going to flip it. It's going to land like on the edge like that. It's 50-50. Now, if I flipped it 10 times, and let's say you're going to make money if it lands, if we get 5 heads and 5 tails. Well, I'm not going to waste your time. Like, there may be some 10 sets where I may get 7 heads in a row, and then you're going to, oh, this system's stupid. It's supposed to be 50% correct, but I got 7 heads instead of blah blah blah. It's because the data set is too small. If I flipped it 1,000,000 times, you then have it by the end of the 1,000,000th toss, so to speak. You're going to be so damn close to 50-50. Obviously, the smaller the data set, the more chance of the outliers. You may get 10 heads, 10 tails, and it's the same with trading. You can't base a trading system off of 10 trades, or even 30 trades, or even 3 months. So here, again, with the trendy jibe, especially on the daily chart, it has positive expectancy. So it will work in the long run. You just got to stick to the system. And remember, if you stick to the system and you lose money, that's still a good trade. If you break the rules and you make money, that's a bad trade. Anyway, don't want to bore you, it's almost 10 minutes. I can never keep a video under 5 minutes. Anyway, hope it helps. See you soon. Toodles. Bye.